All right, Coach, just as we head into another week of MAC play, just take us back to last week. It was a tough week at Western Michigan. You guys fought the Broncos in all three games. Just looking back on that weekend, what were some of the positives that you saw?
Each game we were in there, we gave ourselves a chance to win. We competed. We had the lead. We came back from being behind. Offensively, we're swinging the bat still. Coming up, short in that last game, you got bases loaded situation. You ground out into a double play. Not the way you plan to end a game, but it happened. So the great thing that we're doing offensively, we're swinging the bats, putting ourselves in a position to play. Defensively, we had some hiccups, I think, this weekend more than we've seen in the past. I think we were able to do great things against Toledo because we played air-free defense. We had a few mishaps that put us in some tough situations. We've worked on them, talked about it this week in practice, and moving forward, I think it's going to be a great week at Ball State.
I know you never want to have games canceled or postponed like you did, on Tuesday against Akron. But does that help sometimes when maybe you get the time to get back in the gym and get back to practicing and working on some of those errors that you had last week?
Yeah, absolutely. Last week was a tough week in general, just playing Canisius 2 separate days back-to-back, traveling, and then playing, a 3-game series with weather delays and all of that. So we had 5 games and no practice. So this week we were able to get back to some fundamentals, work one-on-one with a few players, try to get, everybody's confidence back up. That's the biggest thing after kind of getting on a losing streak is kind of addressing players one-on-one. To see where we're at mentally. That's the biggest challenge. Physically, we got the ability to play with anybody. So it's the mental part that we're kind of doing mental check-ins, one-on-ones this weekend. And they've been, the meetings have went well. So
Savannah, you look at your season so far, you leading the team in hitting, 387, 474 in MAC play. Just what's it been like for you at the plate, so far this year?
This has been a good season for me. There's been a lot of ups and downs. Against Canisius, I went 0 for 8, and I was struggling against the lefty. So going into Western, I was a little bit nervous, but at the same time, our team was really energized because it was MAC play, and I didn't really think about the lefty, and I was actually seeing the ball really well. So this season has been a good experience for me, and I've started hitting the first pitch, and I've actually gotten more home runs this season than I've ever had before, which is a new thing for me, but it's a good season for me so far.
And batting leadoff is kind of a little bit different for you as well. Talk to us about that approach when you go in and as the leadoff hitter.
Well, I always like being a spark, and I like getting my team up on the fence, and I go deep in counts, so I always have really good at-bats. But batting leadoff gives me a chance to put us in scoring position, and for me to get on base and do my job is everything that my coach wants me to do. Batting first is a first for me. I've never done it before. So the beginning of the year was a struggle, but now I'm a lot more comfortable, and I know my role, and I know that the people behind me will move me over and put us at a better chance.
Coach, talk to us about Savannah's offense. I mean, over the last 2.5 years, really since she got healthy her freshman year, maybe been one of your most consistent offensive players. Just what is it about what she's able to do at the plate?
She's confident and always has been confident in her abilities and herself. Great hitters have good vision. She's very good at going deep in the count. She doesn't panic with 2 strikes. She almost enjoys it. And most hitters don't. And even for me, she'll take sometimes till she gets 2 strikes, and I'm like, give yourself more than one chance to swing. But for her, it's about being patient, being disciplined, going up there with a plan, and not swinging until you get your pitch that you want. Like she said, she has had some great hits on the first pitch, so I try to boost her up. Hey, that was a first pitch home run. Let's swing at the first pitch. But a lot of times she has to settle in, especially being the leadoff, because it hasn't been a comfort. So for her to see more pitches, that helps her. But if we can continue to kind of get the combination of being aggressive and still being patient, she's going to continue to lead us offensively. Has the highest on-base percentage on the team. We want her up to bat when the game is on the line, and that situation has came up a lot of times. Sometimes we're successful, other times we want, but any game that we have on the line, I want her in the box to give us the best chance to win the game.
And so that as an upperclassman that also bats leadoff, I mean, feel like you had that dual role of mentoring the young players on the team. One, because you've had those experiences as a junior, but also being the leadoff hitter, and then you have some of the freshmen lower down the batting order. You know, what's that? You know, what do you, as a player, what is it that you try and instill on the younger players?
Well, I know that if they see me struggling against the pitcher and me not really being as confident as I usually am, they kind of sit back on their heels because they're more used to me being overly aggressive when I bat. But I think that if I have a good at-bat and they see me take my time and trust that I can do well off the pitcher, then they have a little bit more confidence, and they know the more pitches I see, the more that they know which pitches the pitcher's going to throw, and what they do first pitch, what they do when they're behind, when they're on top of the account. So I think that the underclassmen are doing a good job reading what I do and seeing that they can do the same.
Maybe talk to us about your season so far in the circle, leading the team in strikeouts. What's your mindset when you're in the circle?
My mindset would probably be I have to believe in my abilities and my pitches and getting ahead in the count and like believing in what my coach is making me throw. You know,
you have a freshman catcher as well. You throw to Katie a lot. Does it make you feel more comfortable that you know your battery mate is someone who's kind of going through the same process of you, this being your first year of playing college softball?
I've thrown with Katie in the past with travel ball, and we have a really good relationship, so I'm very comfortable throwing to her.
You've allowed just one run in MAC play. You pitched really well at Toledo. Do you kind of get the feel for how different conference play is to maybe what you went through during non-conference, or are you still kind of learning the conference a little bit?
I'm still learning, but I do see the difference a little bit. They're not as good as hitters as when we weren't in conference, but they're obviously still really good. But I feel more confident with MAC conference than off season.
You also are asked to pinch run a lot, which is totally different than pitching. What's your mindset when when you're called on to go in there as a pinch runner with maybe a one-run deficit, one-run lead, or a tie game? What's that mindset you have when you're out there on the base paths?
Depending on the situation, my mindset's different. Like if we're down, I would be more aggressive than I would be if we were up. I'd be more safe than if we're down. So.
What how do you kind of differentiate that going in and one of the days you're the one in the circle that's got to lead the team and keep the team in games, and other days you're that spark plug off the bench to on the bases. How do you kind of differentiate that mindset?
Well, I know my role on the team, so one day I'm gonna be pitching and the other day I'll be running. I think it just depends on what my role is that day with my mindset. I'll be paying attention more to the hitters, if I'm pitching that day, and then if I'm running, I'll be more paying attention to when we're on offense and how the defense and how they play.
You're part of a really young group. You have a lot of freshmen and newcomers that came in with you. I know we talked about Katie a little bit, but does that give you more confidence, help you through this whole process that you're one of a big group of newcomers that are kind of all going through this together?
It definitely helps a lot that there's a lot of us, because we can help each other out, pick each other up when we need it. Because if I was the only freshman, it'd just be a lot harder than it would be now. We all just help each other out a lot.
Coach, talk to us about BB and the energy that she brings on the field, whether you're asking her to be in the circle or on the base paths.
She's a fighter in the circle. I think she has a little chip on her shoulder that she pitches with because she's short and she has little hands. And, I think she's been doubted a lot in the past. And so she's very thankful and appreciative of the opportunity that she does have. And every time that she gets out there on the mound, it's about trying to prove it. Like, she didn't get a lot of opportunities early, and then when she finally did, she killed it. Like, she went 10 innings with Princeton toe-to-toe and came out with the W in that situation. And a lot of our extra innings games has been the ones that she pitches. Like, she has done a good job of shutting down a lot of offenses. So I've enjoyed her growth. She came in very, very raw, and it's been a lot of learning curves that we've went through, a lot of development, but she wants to know. She's comfortable with asking questions and trying to figure things out. So I think that's why, as of late, she's seen a lot more success, because she's growing into becoming a true pitcher and not just somebody who throws the ball hard, because at this level, throwing hard doesn't get you anywhere. The harder you throw it, the harder it's going to come back at you if you don't have movement and off speed and use the corner. So I think those are the growing pains as a pitching staff as a whole we've went through, and she's starting to get it, and that's why she's seeing the success that she's had.
And then finally, back on the road this weekend. You head to Ball State. You go to Akron on Tuesday before you finally get some MAC home games here. Just talk to us about Ball State and the challenges that you guys are presented this weekend.
Yeah, we're Road Warriors. That should be our new hashtag, UB Softball, hashtag Road Warriors. We're used to playing on the road. That's what we do, being an outdoor sport in Western New York. We're excited, like she said, about MAC play. We talked about being great in April. It's April now. It's time for us to step up and grow and learn from all of our challenges that we've been faced with. Ball State is a great team. Historically, they've been known to be one of the top teams in the MAC. They have a new coach who is very fiery. I've played with her in the Pro League. She's going to do great things with that team. They're coming off of a good midweek series, too. So we're excited to face them. They're great offensively. So as a pitching staff, we're going to challenge our best with their best. And, it's really about us, again. Everybody in the MAC this year is great. It's pretty much an even playing field. It's about who's going to step up, get that timely hit, who's going to play air-free defense, and who's going to play with energy for 7 complete innings or extra innings if they present themselves. So that's our goal, is to complete a game, to finish a game, play 21 outs of air-free defense. And if we do that and we give it our all, we'll just have to live with the results. And I think if we play UB softball the way that we know that we can and we have, we're going to be successful.
Done.